Agatha All Along broke the spell of MCU misses. Apparently, this TV series harks back to the comic giant's most successful project. Oh, for the small screen. Oh, alright. This is really weird to say about a show where the only thing it seemed to have going for it is Aubrey Plaza getting it on with people. A show where one of the most asked questions is, does it have a post-credit scene? No, seriously, does it have a post-credit scene? I need to know why it doesn't have a post-credit scene. The only thing I wanted to see after the credits was I'm sorry. Because the thing is, now it's all over, the true reviews start to come out. It was fun. But then again, if you think about it, it just falls apart like a house of tarot cards. I liked it, I promise. Although, if I engage my brain, I despised the thing. And it's because this show was sold on something very basic. Like, if you want someone to fear death, don't make it Aubrey Plaza. It reminds me of a song from the Underworld soundtrack, which, as I'm not sure I could get the clip past YouTube. Jesus is risen, it's no surprise, even he would martyr his mama to ride to hell between those thighs. Hey, it was Kate Beckinsale, it was a different time. But the show really didn't have anything else to sell itself on. Oh, the fans are getting emotional after they've seen Agatha and Aubrey get it on. The MCU has previously been criticised. What? There are many things you could criticise Disney for, it's not that. But you have to ask, if this is all you're hanging your show on, what do the people you're supposedly representing think about it? Because we've got Out Magazine here, Agatha is indeed
biggest project Marvel has ever done.
But how good is it? Even that, anyway, it's not enough for me. It's like, look, that's enough for 30 seconds, but this is a 45-minute show. I'm gonna need more, mate. What is the quality of it? Well, it turns out they didn't love the show. This is your target demographic. You've already cut down your audience to a tiny fraction of the population, and they'll, nah, it's still crap, mate. I mean, yes, we've got the pandering down. We just didn't get any of the actual content. I would have really loved to have seen them get it on more than once. And while it's a huge step forward for which hole we're interested in, hopefully other characters in Marvel projects will soon get the chance to light those holes as well. Agatha gets 2 out of 5 stars. I mean, to be fair, it did get 4 out of 5 eggplants, so it really nailed its interest in holes. But when it came to the content, it was ass. Which is surprising, really, because depending which score you're talking about, that's either crap or exactly what we're interested in. I just love that they give everything 2 different scores. That's amazing. Makes me want to check out their other reviews. What did they give the Marvels? Oh, this didn't age well, did it? Marvel, give Agatha All Along creator $2 billion to make whatever she wants. You didn't even like the last thing she made. As far as I can tell, they didn't even review the Marvels. Best I could find is them talking about their sapphic chemistry. Oh, what a time we live in. This precious quote was allegedly cut from the Marvels, just like me for real for reals.
How are you bound?
It was a trap. I still don't know how he did it.
I forgot she blamed a man for it. It wasn't even his fault, she just saw someone with dangly bits and went, all my problems are your fault. At least the show's honest.
Bound me without magic.
I don't know how this guy did magic without magic. Maybe it wasn't him, love. I actually don't know why she's even in the show. She's done literally nothing the whole series. And that's going to continue. We start with a character who they made me like just before they killed her. That's a running trend in the show. Aubrey Plaza strokes her face to suck her soul out of her body. Sure, she's not the only one.
It's time to go. Where?
Henry Cavill's wedding, by the looks of it, is a wedding where all the female attendees will be in mourning. She turns around, though, and sees what Agatha has done to her. And remember, you're actually supposed to like Agatha for some reason, after she's just murdered people for no reason.
That's all the time I get?
I'd be way more angry if I got murdered. I'd at least drop a few slurs. This is your last chance. She says, oh, I just broke the curse. I saved my own life, and then, oh no.
I finally broke the curse. I can really do something with my life now.
Like what? You're older than me, what you gonna do? We were way down the road of wine and cats before this ever became a problem. Ah, I could finally finish that series of The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, what are your big plans for the world?
You're a protection witch. You died protecting someone.
Oh, she was murdered by the person she was protecting. I'm not sure why reminding her that she's an idiot would help. I'm sorry, have you put makeup on to give her a fake six-pack? She has a six-pack! No, I don't believe it. I just don't believe that's real. But now, we cut over to overacting.
Lillian! No!
I mean, yes, she did die for no reason, but you never cared about her before.
What happened? Where is she? Inside! She stayed behind!
Sounds like she got squashed more than the thing turned around. But he pretends that he's really upset despite already killing her in a previous episode. Look, just because she's incompetent and survived doesn't mean he didn't try. Agatha's running away. I don't know why. Nothing happened in the previous episode that should provoke this response as far as I can remember. And then she meets death. She said, I love how the bodies are piling up, just like you promised me. I thought there'd be a trick, and there was. You were distracting me from Billy Maximoff, the guy who should be dead. He's cheated, and he can't.
He is an abomination.
Surprisingly based. This is the problem Hollywood has. You can have insufferable characters all you want, but you have to have all the other people in the show hate them as well.
He is disrupting the sacred balance.
He is the reason why burning at the stake was invented. If Agatha has convinced me one thing, it's that Salem was right. People are always like, well, what happens to the ones that were dunked under water and were innocent? Turns out, none of them are. So then we get the classic narrative tradition of walking up to a character and telling them how they feel, because it hasn't been written into the script well enough for the audience to understand.
And I know how you feel about him.
Please, I've known that kid for 2 minutes.
I watch you.
Why have subtext when we can just shout it at the other person? As though no one in history has had special treatment like I gave you.
You call what you did special treatment.
This is one of those things that shouldn't have an answer, because the answer they give you is worse. You will find out that final episode not only didn't need to exist, but shouldn't exist. As bizarrely, it makes the rest of the series worse, including this answer. Aubrey was right. Although at this point, me supporting death in the show probably isn't a surprise. But they're discussing, she stayed behind voluntarily? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. She did it for us.
And herself. Allows her to get out of this show and away from you. She's one of the lucky ones. But like most things in this show, the conversations they have, they don't even make sense. These are people that are having conversations at each other, and talking is the point more than the content. That's how you can get...
Yeah, I'm sure. She did it for us.
Rio.
What? Are you sure she stayed behind voluntarily to fight the 7 witches? Yes, she did it for us. Rio. What? Staying behind to kill the 7 witches has nothing to do with Rio.
Green witch with a capital G.
Not that it stops them, we just change conversation randomly in the middle of a sentence.
Agatha's ex is death.
I'm sorry, have we just all forgotten that our friend stayed behind to die to save our life? Why are we talking about Rio all of a sudden? We went from mourning her to, oh, let's talk about her girl. Oh, God. The content of the conversation isn't as important as the fact that we're having it.
That also makes sense.
That's true. That's the only person that could like her rotting. Okay. They're talking about Billy, though.
What he wants from the road is a violation.
Yeah, he's probably had a few of them in his time anyway, to be fair. At this point, I say, what's one more? It's not going to make it any worse. He's probably never had a whole road up there before, but, you know, maybe a train.
It's borderline wasting the road's time.
To be fair, the road's doing it to everybody else, so I don't particularly care about itself. She says, oh, I can't let Billy steal another life. I have to take him. And so Agatha promises to deliver Billy to death at the end of the road. I can get him to the end of the road and deliver him to you wrapped up in a little bow. Didn't need Agatha to do that. He'd probably put a bow on himself, to be honest. Agatha realizes, though, you actually need me to do it, don't you? Otherwise, you would have just done it yourself. But if you kill him, then he'll just reincarnate again. You have to make him want to go with you voluntarily. Well, I can do that too.
I can arrange that.
Turns out she can't actually arrange that as such. Everything that happens is just pure coincidence. The show seems to think if everything coincidentally aligns with what Agatha wants, we'll all think it's Agatha's plan from the start. Yes, they do think you're that stupid.
You let me go.
I know you'll take me when I die, but that'll be after a long, long, happy life without your interference.
And when I die, I don't want to see your face.
Just your lips. But my lips are on my face. Not those. I get the feeling even the target market of this show would like it more if I wrote it. But with that, they make the deal.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to stop pissing her off, stop killing everybody she cares about. Just saying. Now with this, they decide to do something which I actually think is pretty cool. It is essentially fourth wall breaking, but in a good way. Because as Aubrey goes to escape the road, she pulls her knife and literally cuts her way out of the set. Before actually just leaving the set. And it works because it even fits in with the lore of what the road actually is, when you find out about it later anyway. So I did like this mix of practical filming with in-story lore, and it was a cool way of telling it, no, she's just leaving the road now. It's just a shame the script isn't as sharp as the scene. Back with Dumb and Dumber, though, they're discussing how Agatha met death over some corpses.
More proof that Agatha has feelings.
That was your takeaway.
Yeah. Mine was more when we saw Aubrey's true face, and she was just like a skeleton. Because like, without any flesh on those bones, that's gonna get uncomfortable really fast.
It's not loyalty, it's analysis.
Oh, please. The only analysis that's ever been done by this cast is just how thick something has to be before it can be called ribbed.
Harkness can never be anything but a covenless witch.
Ouch.
How does that even work? They were walking in that direction. Where did she come from? Where did she go? So they are both facing where she is.
I'm fully aware
He turns around and somehow
be anything but a covenless witch.
Ouch.
she's where they were looking the first time. I'm so confused. You can't do a reveal from behind somebody's back when they were looking in that direction half a second ago.
Time to finish the road.
Oh, please. They're talking about the final trial, though, and this one is gonna be a big one.
Fireworks! Get ready for spectacle! Get ready for... Oh!
Shoes. Yeah, this really is a show made by women, isn't it? Time for the ultimate conclusion, the most important event. Shoes! Have you seen my little sparkly boots?
That's it!
Imagine how I felt when I saw your show. I thought you'd be funny. I was expecting Willow, and instead I got SSRI cat ladies. They realised, though, they've gone full circle. The road is a loop.
How do we get off? Maybe we... You don't know, then keep quiet!
Based. Why don't you just shut up, you stupid tart? Oh, so many of the world's problems could be solved with this solution. But I don't care. Shh. But then Agatha comes up with an idea that would result with us all going to hell.
We keep going.
Nobody wants that. If I have to sit through another 8 episodes of this show, I'm going to be on the floor having a seizure.
What?
But they think she's insane because between Agatha and Joe Locke, they've murdered everybody else. She won't survive another go-round. Dean's getting itchy fingers already. She should at least be wearing high-neck clothes so he can't see her neck.
There is absolutely zero chance I'm going to endure that experience again.
I'm so glad we agree. I just love that their own show is going, that was horrific. There's no way I'm acting that again. I can't handle it. There isn't enough payday in the world. But Dean's like, we took our shoes off out of respect for the road. Well, screw that. I'm gonna have my fashion sense again and put on my sparkly Converse. I did briefly think he'd gone to hell. I cheered. Now, on the plus side...
Hello?
Teen did end up in a body bag. Unfortunately, he was still alive, as was everybody else.
Don't steal her struggle.
Some say by facing challenge, it strengthens your muscles and allows you to face the next challenge stronger than you were before. But on the other hand... It is just funny to watch someone suffocate in a bag, isn't it? Look, it's better for you and funny for me. This is the best kind of entertainment.
Don't steal her struggle.
First time I've agreed with Agatha, except when she was trying to murder that guy. Turns out, though, they're in Agatha's basement, just with some changing lights. The lights start turning out, and that's how they get their countdown. They're locked inside and have to solve the final puzzle. They have to get what they want. Really is a show written for half the population, isn't it? We're gonna make an entire show about us getting exactly what we want, talking about our feelings over it. It's so brave. And so they set about giving each other everything they want in life, which is the most stupid part of the story. The road was supposed to give you these things, not make it a challenge for you to give them to yourselves. As if you could just give them to yourselves, why did you do the road in the pissing first place? And yet, here we are, with the plot once again solving itself via random coincidences. They're talking about how she's bound, and you're so powerful. You've saved all our lives when you didn't have any magic. And I'm like, sorry. She does have magic though, didn't she? She literally healed a person with magic. The show doesn't even understand what magic is, but here we are. She said though I was bound by a doctor, and Agatha remembers something.
Agatha? What? I never knew you ever passed through there, that's all.
The doctor, the man that she's been blaming for her entire life problems, it wasn't even her fault. It was actually down to Agatha all along. Lots of similarities with reality in this one.
Are you the one who bound me?
Now, it is worth pointing out that if Agatha wasn't the one that bound her, they'd all be dead. It is only down to this one coincidence that any of this happened in the first place, as only the person that bound her can unbind her and therefore release them from the place.
You're the one who bound her.
I didn't know it was you! It was the 1920s!
Now, there is the possibility that she's faking it for Joe Locke, who's controlling the entire thing, but we find that out in the next episode. But either way, I'm not going to give them the credit. I found out in The Acolyte every time I think they may be doing an intelligent story. They're not.
I don't know, the patriarchy really shelled out to shush a lady. It was bind or burn!
And based. We've seen what you do with power. It's horrific. You keep killing each other. Everybody's safer when you're making a sandwich. But with that, she does the unbinding ritual.
The unbinding ritual.
That's just in case she couldn't work out what she was doing after she said, "You bound me!" I tell you, Teen is the character for 65 IQ everywhere.
Don't worry, I'll help you by spelling it out.
I deny your power over me.
God, this is such a...
You have no power over me.
Oh, God. Just punch her in the face like a normal man. I believe in you. You can grow up.
You hold nothing. You hold nothing. You hold nothing. You hold nothing.
Oh, God. Oh, God. No, I take it back. She can't grow up. She's never going to become an adult. She's always going to remain an infantile child. The writing in this show. Adults control your emotions. Stoicism is what you're supposed to aim for, you stupid bint. You have no power over me. as I throw a tantrum on screen. This kind of behavior is just insufferable in real life or a show. Biggest mistake that was ever made is telling these people their feelings mattered.
Oh, you're so important.
But she gets her power back, apparently. Power to be insufferable by the looks of it.
I'm glowing.
She cries because she's got enough power to go out into the world and be more evil than before, and we're supposed to congratulate her on this. Yay! Evil's won! Congratulations, folks! She's gonna go out and get more lawsuits and kill people. Yay! I want you to go to hell! She's crying now, but her victims will be crying in the future. Like, seriously, this is horrific. Quick, cut her head off before she escapes.
I'm crying because I finally become empowered.
Oh, God. And what are you going to do with this power, dear leader? Well, I'm going to go and punish the rest of society with it. I shall cause countries to collapse. Luckily, after that, she vanishes. That means we don't have to put up with her horrific story anymore. The evil witch getting power is a bad thing, and yet here, it's celebrated. Because the people that work at Disney seem to be evil themselves and think this is a good thing.
Where did she go? She was just there. Agatha!
Hopefully she visited Angel and he bit her neck off. I mean, it's the best we can hope for.
The road gave her what she was missing.
A brain? No, sorry, no, empowerment, obviously, yeah.
And now she's gone.
I threw her away.
I came here for power. You have power.
And so they work out how they can also do the same thing. I don't know why they didn't do it before, but she's like, I came for power, you have power, you give me your power, and I will give you what you want. Your dead brother could come back to life and be resurrected, so he could also go through the world committing acts of evil, just like you. And I'm supposed to support this for some reason, and not just want the ceiling to crush them. So to convince him that she's trustworthy, she goes through a ritual with him to get his brother back from, well, it's gonna be hell as well, isn't it? They're all going to hell.
I know how I did it.
You never do. Time to grow up.
I wish everybody in this show had, to be honest. But instead I've had to put up with your feelings, waffling, and desperate search for power. Everybody in this show is a child, including the creators. Then we get a scene which is very Hollywood.
Close your eyes.
It's not the first time a teen's been told that over there. But we go through some kind of imagining sequence, like she's teaching him the Force. Imagine Tommy's last moments. Put yourself in his position. He starts waffling about all his memories and just reading them out loud because, you know, his feelings are very important for some reason no one cares about. There's not been a single person in the world that's cared about any of these people's feelings, but here we are. And Agatha knows the exact IQ of this guy, which is why she knows she needs to give him detailed instructions.
Breathe with him. Breathe.
Literally has to remind him to breathe. If I don't tell him his biological functions, they'll stop. He'll forget about them. Goes on for literally minutes of just going, breathe, breathe, think about him, hold the world together. Oh, use your power of emotions, he's really close to it. I don't even know what it's meant to be. I think you're supposed to care about it, but for that you'd have to care about any of these people.
You breathe for yourself. You breathe for him. You breathe for everything he is.
I just want him to stop it, to be honest. I think that would solve the problems. Stop breathing for him. Stop breathing for yourself. Stop breathing for the audience and everything they are.
You hold it all inside of you.
Not the first time he's had an entire man inside him, I tell you that.
Can't keep them. Keep your eyes closed, no matter what.
She says though, but he's too big for you, which is a first, I'd imagine. You can't contain all of him. You need to find a new place for him, and I shall help. So then we get some trailer footage. You need to find him a place. You need to find somewhere for him to go. And then, I mean, he does get a little bit discriminatory here.
Where does he go?
I don't know!
Find him a place.
It's black!
I mean, it's Disney, so it's at least a 70-30 chance.
Nothing!
He floats. He looks down.
We can't find anyone out of the list that everyone's applied. Quick, to the checklists. She says, though, no, there's always somebody dying. Just find one. And then we see a load of people in water. A guy gets pushed in, and for some reason, I don't know, he's surrounded by people and just letting him die. They're literally holding him underwater. Just to show how evil these people are, right? And I mean these two, not the boys. Listen to their description of them drowning a guy underwater.
Underwater! There's a boy. It's a prank. They tricked him.
Yeah, it's a prank, bro. It's just a prank. It's just a prank, bro. And they're like holding him underwater. You scum, all of you. I despise all of you.
The people, the family, there's no one to love him.
Oh yeah, because that's the problem. Oh, nobody can love him. What about his feelings? He's getting murdered, you stupid tart.
Am I killing this boy so my brother can live?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You've killed every other sad little prat in the show. And with that, he's gone. And we could celebrate.
No, Billy.
No, Billy, this is the one person you're not murdering. You've already killed 3 people in this show. We couldn't make it a 4th.
Sometimes boys die.
Then why is it never teen? Why can't we get lucky just once? But as the time runs out, there's no one to give Wanda power. And she realizes, oh no, I'm in trouble. My feelings are all upset, and you should care for some reason. I'm only an evil, murderous witch, and you should really care that I'm unhappy. I still say we need to throw her off a bridge, personally. She goes into a locket and finds the hair, which seems to be some kind of break glass in case of emergency kind of spell, as there is some weird seed in it. And so, as time runs out...
Out of death, life.
Not exactly. You've killed a lot of people. There's never been life, to be honest. But she's like, no, there's glow lights in the ceiling and I can cry on this thing. Because that's the secret to my power. Crying, sympathy, and victimization. Get her tears on the seed and we plant it in the crack in the ground.
Oh, I need more time. I need more time.
Nobody wants to spend any longer with you than necessary, Agatha, just so we're aware. But a flower sprouts. And that means something for some reason. I don't know. Maybe her son's coming back to life. Who knows? But whatever it is, it works. The light comes back and we start to bury Agatha alive. For once in the show, things are looking up. At this point, I did hope it had cut outside and it's just all the other witches sitting on the doors. Like, no, you get what you deserve, love.
Get me off!
It's like I played by your rules. I know passed all the trials. Let me off the road. Ta-da! Turns out she is genuinely back inside her own basement. To which the question might be, you know, did they ever leave? Calm down, Aubrey. No one's ever been that happy to see Agatha in their entire lives, let alone their undead. Bearing in mind she's come here to kill her, and she's like, welcome, my love! You are murdering her, by the way. And I know you're death, and this is your instinct, but you can't love somebody and murder them because then you can't have them anymore.
Sorry, I didn't have a ribbon for you to run through.
To be fair, Teen probably does. Now, Agatha, as you can imagine, she's a bit miffed. I'm not an expert in body language, but I get that feeling from this screenshot.
I want my prize!
Yes, free Gibbs, please, free Gibbs. Everything I have must be given to me by somebody else. I can't be bothered to earn it myself. But Death's here because Agatha betrayed the deal. She's like, I got the kid out. He's like, no, you were supposed to deliver him to me, and he's not here. He's supposed to surrender himself, and he hasn't.
Death by 1,000 cuts!
I'd say marry her for a fate worse than Death, but Death probably wouldn't be happy with that, would they? Now, it turns out they're in Westview, and this guy... I don't understand what the... look at these... Aren't they stupid?
Oh, is it happening again? I don't know.
I mean, what is bad acting done Yeah, bad acting's funny. Well, it can't be funny. The rest of your cast have been doing it the entire time. Does this mean Joe Locke's doing it for a joke or what? I don't know anymore.
You are a coward!
Look, they did a callback. And I'm like, yeah, but why? The other witch knew Agatha was evil. She knew all of them were evil, so why is she helping her?
And she calls you a coward.
Hit the deck!
Yeah, but why did we save her life? That would have been perfect. We could have had the perfect ending. We were so close. She literally threw the kitchen sink at her. I would have tied her to it myself, but here we are.
Why don't you want me?
Oh, God, now Death's got feelings as well. I don't know, dear. Why doesn't she want you? Well, maybe because you've thrown a load of glass at her and then literally thrown the kitchen sink at her. Maybe it's because you're constantly trying to murder her. I'm not sure, Lop, but I think if you want someone into that, you need to get all the viewers together that watch The Handmaid's Tale. They absolutely love it. It's less of a TV show for them and more a personal fantasy. But Death restrains Agatha and pulls out a knife. It's a bit dramatic. Not as dramatic as that, though, and at this point, you're like, oh, every time Aubrey Plaza gets to do something amazing, someone insufferable comes in and ruins it. say his name and he appears. No, I think he's supposed to be intimidating. I don't know who can find that intimidating. This guy's never intimidated anyone in his life. He couldn't intimidate his food as he's putting it in the microwave. If you wanted to pull off this scene, Disney needed to get him on that bulk regimen.
No distractions, please. I'm gonna need you to hide those arms.
What arms? Who can be intimidated by that? Looks like you've got one of them workout sweatbands on. Now do it with me, Agatha. We're gonna do some hip thrusts. We're gonna get our aerobics on, okay? Sorry, I know you're tied up. Just imagine you doing the exercise. It'll still burn the calories.
You look good.
Don't lie to him. He's already murdered 3 witches as it is. He doesn't need his ego being lied to. Make sure you'll tell him, you can act.
You don't.
He ain't the only one.
Don't take it all.
For some reason, he decided to give her his power now, but the fact that he's already watched her kill somebody doing it before. This show is just layers of stupidity and nonsense all the way down. Nothing makes sense why he would do this to her. He hasn't trusted her the entire way. Then she's like, I'll get your brother back. And suddenly, he's willing to die for it. But as she sucks out his power... I've heard he's made faces like that on other TV shows as well. She does a whole, oh, this is so amazing. And just when you think she's going to let him die, you know, because she's done it to everyone else in the show, you can only have these kind of stories between, like, heroes. You can't have it between villains, as none of the evil scum has reason to trust each other. So you can't do a story about trust and feelings. Oh, no! Emperor Palpatine's got a bit teary. Now, obviously, they had to change her clothes because this is a show about fashion and feelings.
Feels so good.
I told you, all of the mechanics of the plot don't make sense because that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is pointless conversation and then self-indulgent feelings. As long as we're all happy all of the time, that's what makes sense. That's what makes a good entertaining show. But she eventually stops sucking his magic out and he feels absolutely drained. Not for the first time. Death, though, gives her an option. One of you can stay with me, the other one walks free. You get what you deserve. So they have a bit of a magic light fight where they just throw some colour at each other. Bit like painting with numbers, but with magic. This is the same kind of magic fighting that they had in Willow, where the most important element of it is that we make it look pretty. We just do that to Agatha for lols. Aubrey Plaza's the only interesting thing on the screen. And so she gives him this spiel, oh, it must be me. I must be the one to sacrifice myself for you. Again, this doesn't work because they're all villains. She's evil, he's evil. They're both more than happy to murder their own friends. At that point, any point of self-sacrifice and everything goes out the window. No one believes it. No one had any reason to believe the other person's going to do it. This is stupid. The only thing that should happen is that both of these people should suffer justice by an actual hero. Evil betrays evil, and you're like, who cares, really?
We can't fight death.
Or fight at all, really. I mean, look at the state of both of you. It's like, no, it can't be you. No, evil person, but number 2, it should be me. But evil person number 1. Why are evil people sacrificing each other, you insufferable tarts?
You're not bad.
Neither are you.
You're both basically Satan, you scum. Like, oh. Satan meeting Baal and going, well, you're not that bad. It's like, oh, neither are you. Should we go and wipe out another planet? Instead, though, he's like, no, it should be me. I should sacrifice myself for the evil.
That's my choice. Take me.
And while for a brief second there was some hope that he would achieve justice.
Take him!
Based. Do whatever you want with him, the worse the better.
You heard him, the boy, as promised. It's over.
It was all a setup. She obviously betrayed him because they're all evil and everyone knew it from the start. Now at this point, it does at least make sense with her narrative. It just doesn't make sense that he's any good. The thing is, the story making sense lasts for about 10 seconds. Because then...
I thought you were... I'm a covenless witch.
Which even said he knew she was earlier, so again, it didn't make any sense for him to do what he did. And yet, as she walks off, he starts beaming his thoughts into her mind. Which is surprising, because this is the first one he's ever had.
I know you can hear me. Is this how Nikki died?
Actually, no. Like, no. We find that out in the next episode. And it makes this bit make less sense. No, this isn't how he died. This has nothing to do with him. And even if it did, it doesn't make any sense that she would change her mind. And yet, he just went, oh, Nikki! And she suddenly turns around and says, oh, my entire life has changed. You've said one word and now I'm an entirely different person for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Oh, but my heart, he said a word. And really, there's only one reason that all of this happened, and it's because they wanted something to happen, rather than it making any narrative sense. She gets it on with Aubrey, and I'm like, okay. So you were more than happy to betray him until he just went, is this how Nikki died? But it isn't. She's like, oh, Nikki, right, better go die. Farcical. Utterly farcical. And it's literally just because they wanted her to kiss death, basically. Now, if you're really interested in the romantic lives of 50-year-olds, maybe this scene will be interesting to you. For everyone else, there's MasterCard. I don't know. It's like, if you wanted this scene to be interesting to the audience, you should have done it between 22-year-olds, let's be honest.
Oh, I'm dying because I've had the kiss of death for no reason.
I've always wanted to know about the romantic lives of pensioners. So she falls backwards very dramatically. For some reason, Aubrey is upset, despite the fact that this is exactly what she wanted. And Agatha turns into mushrooms. No, seriously. With that, sunlight comes back to the world. Teen finds her brooch. We find out the effects of kissing Agatha. I mean, talk about sucking the life out of you. And with that, he leaves. Seemingly steals a car. I mean, he flew here, so I don't know where I don't know where the car came from. And as he arrives home, we hear,
William, oh my God.
William, we thought you'd got kidnapped. We thought you'd fallen down a hole. We know what you like with them.
Face.
Gone in 24 hours.
yes, all of that happened in 24 hours, which is weird. As from the time he broke into her house to when they entered the road was already 24 hours, because we saw it get dark twice, which means for the rest of the time, literally no time has passed. Maybe it's all in his own head and he's utterly insane. I mean, it made me feel that way. But then he realizes he's in his own room, which is weird because it's his pissing room. I don't know about anyone else, but I know what's in my room. I have a memory of it. I can actually conjure up that memory of things, even when I'm not in the room itself. I'm just special that way. It's an ability that I've always had to recall things from the past that I'm aware of and used to. Not for our teen, though. No, with his 55 IQ, he's been struggling and can only remember things at the exact present moment that he's there.
Oh, look, it's a singer.
Wait, hang on. It's a green witch. That reminds me of one of the things on the road.
Take me to the Witch's Road.
The Witch's Road doesn't exist.
You're lying.
Am I?
What if she wasn't lying? This is mind-blowing. The end of the series, this is the big reveal. He's going to walk around his room and realize Agatha wasn't lying, despite the fact she's evil and lies all the time. Instead, everything he saw is in his own bedroom.
That's exactly how I pictured it.
His own imagination.
Suits you. Didn't think you had it in you.
You didn't think you would want them?
And Agatha knew he'd done it all along, so he is responsible for all the deaths. Not just the 3 murdered intentionally, but every single person he's responsible for. He's just that evil. And he's like, oh no! Except you can't tell because, you know, acting. But he's like, oh no! And he's like shimmying backwards. Let's have a shimmy. This show is bad.
Now this?
Yeah, we literally have to have flashback after flashback as they just keep beating you over the face with it. It's like, you're too thick to realize this. You're too thick for it. Look, here's another clue, you idiot. How many more times do I have to spell it out to you?
Right off your vision board.
Yeah, literally off his vision board. That's how you know he's really effeminate. He's got a vision board.
None of this would be nearly as dramatic.
Might have been actually higher quality as well. Always said we needed more men in entertainment. I never expected this.
Oh, I even had some shoes on a table for no reason whatsoever.
Everything.
We have to show you literally everything because you're too thick to understand. Oh, I've got shoes.
It was me.
Finally.
I've caught up with my 3 IQ.
Yeah, see, here's Agatha's laugh in the background. To be fair, I think he would have got scared by literally anything in that scenario.
Ah, cheese. Testosterone.
Now, the weird part is, this is the penultimate episode, but it actually wraps up the entire story, and if they weren't obsessed with their own post-credit scenes, they wouldn't actually need another episode. The problem is that if they just left it here, everybody's evil. He murdered all of the Coven, Agatha's murdered a load of people, everybody's evil, some justice was delivered at least to Agatha, until you brought her back again. It would have at least been a stronger ending, because at least Agatha would have achieved justice, even if Teen didn't. But in the next one, we're going to go back against all of that, because now it's time to try and make excuses for everybody involved. They're not evil, they're just misunderstood. Because you can't be evil if you're of an identity.
It's impossible. We're moral people, you see. It's in our genes.
So stay tuned for the next one as we try and work out just how all these evil people are secretly sympathetic. I actually think the people deserving of sympathy is the pissing audience. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe. More videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.